I made a commitment to speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves. Too many people are losing their lives over workplace bullying. Too many people are having their lives disrupted by bullies. And until there is legislation, until we as a society say that workplace bullying will not be tolerated, I will continue the fight. I receive the emails and phone calls from individuals who are considering suicide, or I talk to family members who have had loved ones commit suicide. And no job is worth losing a life over. And this is a serious, serious issue. It is the elephant in the room in the workplace that no one wants to talk about it, and I'm here to talk about it. I'm here to say something needs to be done to protect all employees in the workplace.
Well, you have in your book two things that really pulled on my heartstrings in your book. You have a female here by the name of Jody Zabel. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her last name correct, but I just want to read what you have written, if that's okay.
That's fine.
Jody Zabel had a horrible pain in her stomach. She felt so sick and weary. She didn't feel that she could face her supervisor again. After several months of being bullied by her supervisor and numerous failed attempts to change jobs, she decided to resign. Days later, on Sunday, February the 3rd, 2008, Jody made a decision that would send shockwaves through her family. Racked with anxiety and unable to think clearly, I certainly know about that, unable to consider the full impact on her loved ones or imagine better days ahead, she took her own life, leaving her husband and her two young children bereft. Jody was only 31 years old. That just tore at my heart, that her pain was so grave that she felt the need to take her own life. And many people are doing that, Dr. Barrow.
Yes, and it's a tragedy. And it's just, I've been taken by Jody's story. I've had an opportunity to meet her aunt, Joey Bostwick, and to have her aunt share what happened to Jody and what is happening to many other employees just tugs at your heart, and it tugged at my heart. And I said, I am going to do whatever I can to protect the Jodys of this world.
That's right. That's right. And the Jimmies, because there are men who also experience workplace bullying as well. Mm-hmm. The other one that, in your chapter 14, the title of this chapter is The Ultimate Price of Bullying, Why I Won't Stop Fighting Workplace Abuse. It's about a lady named Tracy.
Yes.
Tracy, who is now homeless as a result of her bullying experience. And I wanted to talk about that because, I came very close to that scenario simply because when a bully terrorizes your life to the point that they have the power and the network to say that we blackball people so they will never work again, and actually put that into play where wherever you go and you apply for a job and it's not because of your skills or lack of skills, it's not because you don't have the educational credentials, it's not because you don't get along with people, it's because there's one bully terrorizing your life trying to make you homeless. So this homeless resonated with me because during my bullying experience, which is still ongoing, 4 years to date, not only did they blackball me, they blackballed my husband, they blackballed my daughter, and so what they were trying to do is just do exactly that, make us homeless, make us hopeless, put us in a state of despair, perhaps to even divorce or, to have suicide or death or anything like that. But I am so thankful that we are grounded in God. We know the Lord. I don't always do the right things. I'm not going to say I'm perfect because I am not. But I know that I'm grounded enough not to take my own life that God has given me. No matter the pain, the suffering, the anxiety, the depression that I endure all the time. And I say all the time. So sometimes people say, well, we hear you on the show and you sound so strong. And I say it's a public strength, but I have a lot of private pain going on. But I also say that as much bulldog tenacity that my bully has to destroy me, I have just much bulldog tenacity to fight this bully back, to persevere. But so here you're talking to a woman who was homeless. I'm telling you, this time is going by so fast today. Who was homeless because of her bullying experience.
Yes,
I mean,
and
this is
Tracy,
tragic.
I've had the opportunity to meet Tracy, and she worked for a university and had a good paying job, and her manager, a new manager, came on the scene and ended up being Tracy's bully, and it did end where Tracy lost her job, and then eventually she lost her home.
Yes.
Tracy had worked at this organization for 20 years, and I believe she's currently working as a store clerk at maybe a local Walmart in New York State, and has just been devastated by this whole ordeal. And I had an opportunity to meet Tracy around the same time that I met Joey Bostwick, Jody Zebo's aunt. And these stories, and to hear the women share of their experiences, just tugged at my heart. I knew that I had gone through a lot, and I know that if it wasn't for the grace of God, I could have been homeless. I could have,
yes,
these negative things didn't happen. But I truly believed that I would have victory in this situation and that there was hope. And yes, I would have had to have chosen a different route to get to where I needed to be. But as long as I had hope, and as long as I continued to believe in God and His ability to change situations, and in my ability to move forward and to heal from the bullying, as long as I knew that there was hope, there was more to be offered, and it may not have been with this organization. That's what kept me going. And I want to encourage you to begin to look into your heart and to see that you are a valuable person, to those who are listening, and to recognize that the circumstance that you are in right now is temporary. The bully or bullies that you are dealing with tomorrow, the next day, next year, will barely be a thought in your mind as long as you begin to recognize that they don't have the power over you, that you do have the power to change your situation, to move forward. See, because what happens is bullies, they're not even, you may think that they're thinking about you right now. They are not. They are thinking about whatever they're thinking about. We can become so consumed with the negativity that comes our way that we become blinded. What we need to do is to remove the scales from our eyes, the scales of bullying from our eyes, and to see that there's hope, to see that there is a better future for us, and to see that we don't have to put up with this type of behavior. If it means leaving that position, if it means moving to another state, we have the power to change the situation. And what has happened to so many targeted people is that they have experienced what is called learned helplessness. They believe that they cannot do anything about the situation. That is so false. As long as we can breathe, we can change our current situation.
We're going to be back. We're going to talk about that because I want to talk about, you said she went from the university to store clerk. I want to talk about that, how that is giving hope to those of us that are listening in, that are thinking, wow, I went to school. I didn't go to school to be a store clerk, but We'll talk about that when we come back to close out the show. Thank